Harry, you said you wanted to look at the Adventurers Guild?
No, I asked if such problems were on the Adventurers board.
No, it's fairly hush-hush, so to speak. The Monarch doesn't want it getting out that the Platinum Mines are kind of a bloodbath right now for the most part.
So it's on, like, the secret board.
We don't have a secret board. It's nothing no
one would get. Wink, wink.
Well, essentially, people have been coming up behind the slaves mostly, coming up dead. Not your average rock slide or a gas or mine explosion.
You mean the Dragonborn, yes?
Essentially, yeah, whatever. Well, from what we've been seeing,
I will crusade this.
From what we've been seeing,
I'll help.
Crushed. Not like rock slide crushed, but their entire body condensed almost into a box. And those are what we assume to be the lucky ones. Most of them have been coming out either without a head or without, any Tass's head. What's in the head, their brains. We've been kind of worried, but, orders...
What's attacking them?
No one has really seen. No one really wishes to see. Anyone who we sent has come box or no head.
One of the biggest questions we've got to ask when we first got here, that perhaps you could fill us in, is what are the city's rules and regulations on what we can and cannot do while here?
Oh, well, that's kind of what sort of pass do you have, if I may see?
Visitors.
Lunar Road.
You can't do much for business or shopping, something like that. All right. So what you can mostly do is you can shop. You can talk to people, get in a fist fight if that's what you so wish. Don't mess with the guards. They really don't like that. Don't steal, that sort of thing. Other than that, you're free to do pretty much whatever you wish. Nothing, don't break an enter. Don't do normally illegal things.
Yeah, but is there like any odd rules that we should know about?
No. He kind of looks you over. Well, none of you have scales or tails, so you should be fine.
Yurik sort of looks behind him, just like no tail.
Shake your tail feathers.
You should be fine for them. I would be a bit cautious about your feathered friend, but he should be fine.
So did we not get to shop?
Yeah, we
did. I would assume you did that. You can just quickly add that off screen if you would like. Just tell me what you're buying essentially or selling.
Well, I don't know if I have enough money for it.
Scale or not scale mail, but studded leather's fairly cheap from what I remember.
It's like 75 gold, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's not expensive.
It's
not. If you want scale mail at least.
Well, for the enchantment, I mean that's 45 gold.
We have to go to the Sun and Moon,
you have not
plan for that.
You have not talked to the Broken Moon.
We currently have an appointment for 3 weeks after that.
So basically, we're here for 3 weeks.
Studded leather is 45 gold pieces.
45 gold.
So, I'm actually curious about this. Who wants to go down and do something?
Sure, we might as well while we're here.
Might as well. Let's go down to the mine.
Where's the mine?
It's a fight pit. It's a fight pit. What do you think it's like?
Wait, are you going to the mine or the off-team?
I want to go to the mine and do some checking.
Well, you didn't hear this from me. Yeah, down low. You would have to head out the Gate of Ashes, go west for about half an hour, and you should find it.
The mine?
Oh!
Yeah.
Sweet.
Before we do either one of these things, we're in the Adventurers Guild. Let's check out the board.
True.
We might be able to pick up something.
If you would wish, and as you turn to see the board, there's few notices on it, and all of them are in Dwarven.
I know Dwarven.
No Dwarven? Alright.
I know Dwarven.
From what you can see, they're essentially just the normal Adventurers Guild fodder of, help me move. There's rats in my basement, help clear them out. Nothing.
I shudder at the mention of rats.
Yeah. From what you see, essentially, there's nothing above a C rank quest on the boards currently.
Nothing of worth.
Yeah, nothing that would really pose any sort of challenge or would, get any good payoff for you guys.
Pay enough to make work.
There you go.
Pyre wants to go for the rats.
By all means.
You would want. But yeah. So where are you all heading now, or what are you all doing now?
Do we want to just go
to find the rats?
Right. I would just be looking around to see.
All right.
I would probably throw up my hood and head to the arches.
Yeah. All right.
To be completely honest.
That's totally fine.
Until we head down to the mines to do some murder timing, I'm going to fly up to the top of the Adventurers Guild to sort of chill there and paint.
Okay.
I will go visit the mine. Not gonna go in them. We'll go check it out, ask around.
All right. So, Ara, Myra, what are you doing?
I don't know. Just following.
Following who?
Where's everybody going?
Lunar has flipped up his hood, so he's practically invisible and headed off to the arches, which is where the slaves are. Uruk is up on the roof painting. Pyra is going to deal with some rats, and Ara is heading to the mountains.
I'll go kill some rats.
Let's be buddies.
Awesome. So, I'll do this. I'll do everyone else's sort of thing first, because yours is going to take the longest.
Probably, yeah. I figured.
Right, so, Uruk, you do your painting thing. Pyra and Myra, you easily find a very old dwarven woman with, cane and everything. There's rats in her basement, and she tells you to go get them. She leads you down to the basement. She does not. She leads you down to the basement, and there are rats. There are literally almost the size of you two rats in her basement.
Dire rats, nice.
Yep. So that fight will happen off screen, as it is literally not even close to a challenge for you guys. It's back down. Yeah.
Triple fireball.
No, I'm not even going fireball.
No, you can clear out melee weapons. Nice. All right. So, Lunar.
Yeah.
As you flip up your hood, it's a little harder for you to go stealthy as for normal, as you are the tallest person for the most part. You do see some other humans and dwarves and other races kind of walking around. As you head to the arches,
it does do the cloak thing.
Oh yeah, it does. But I mean, you're a bit more of a sore thumb than normal.
Yeah.
As you get to the arches, you notice that the buildings get distinctively slummier and more worn down. You do see again a lot more Dragonborn en masse being moved around by very heavily armored guards. You do eventually get to a sort of more central area in which you see what looks to be a sort of warehouse or sort of storage area, which you can see Dragonborns either in manacles or cages being moved in and out.
I'm just going to hang around here looking, seeing if I can find any weak points.
All right. So as you do that, we will now head to Ara. I'll have to address...
Just for the record, if you ask, he'd come with you. He just doesn't know really what to do.
So, this will have to be edited a little bit. Music.
You could have just GM'd layered us.
I did. I literally just did.
Okay.
So, Ara, you are the only one that's here currently. As you get... You're actually about there. As you get to the mines, you see several heavily armed dwarven guards, watching, essentially. You see, which essentially, these are Dragonborn slaves. Loading ores, stones, very heavy shit onto carts. Yeah.
I don't look too happy, bit distasteful, but
some dwarves.
I won't make any overt comments because this is their land.
You see some dwarves working some forages and whatnot, and something that catches your eye is a very not, armored dwarf who you kind of recognize. That would be this guy.
Is that the guy who showed us around first, or?
No. As you kind of step forward, you get a flash back to Felglow.
Oh, it's him!
No! This was a guy met quite a long time ago when you first started your adventure in the city of Felglow. He was also at the inn. None of you really knew who he was, and you still kind of don't. As he's kind of... You see that he has a large pick over his shoulder, and he's kind of overseeing the operations here. as you were walking, I'm assuming you're walking to him. Because he seems to sort of be the foreman or director around here.
He does, yes, and that is true. My just so you know, my overt goal here right now is to ask about the the bodies.
Yeah.
Just the crushed dragonborn.
Yeah. Which you can assume he would be the one to talk to.
All right. So
as you're walking forward, just
hey, buddy.
As you do walk towards, kind of looking around, you notice a dragonborn kind of fall down, collapsing, not dead, but just like very exhausted. One of the guards pulling out a whip, and the dwarf walking over, placing a hand on his shoulder, saying some things in Dwarven, which I don't think you know.
I don't know it. I know Common, Elven, Sylvan, and Deep Speech.
He says a few things in Dwarven, which, you're just kind of watching this, and the guard shrugs him off, puts down the whip. Dwarf talks to the Dragonborn for a while, and kind of pats him on the back, tells him, Dragonborn goes and rests. And essentially this sort of funnel area is down into, the entrance to the mine, essentially. Yeah. He comes back.
Do you think I care?
He comes back, dusts off his hands, and looks at you. Haven't seen enough in the city for quite a while. And he...
Yes, we don't normally...
I don't know your name.
Go underground.
That's true. I don't know your name, but I'd never forget a face. Felglow, right?
Yes. We saw you in the inn there, if I recall correctly.
You were the ones who provided a sort of distraction while the innocent folk could escape. I thank you for that.
And I thank you for your temperance with the Dragonborn.
They've had it rough. And he
Indeed.
Puts his pick on the ground. So, what brings you to the Platinum Mines today?
I heard that there was some incidents with some Cadens or someone or another.
He kind of looks around.
Some killings.
Yeah, it's been true. As I'm sure you're well aware, the monarch says there's no problem. No dwarves have died yet. So he doesn't see it as a problem. I'm sure you know what he means by that, though.
Yes, I can assume.
What's actually been happening is many of our workers, the Dragonborns, have been dying in rather horrific fashions, and we've seen some pretty horrific things come out of that mine.
Maybe I know.
Pray and hope the Lord it's not what I think it is. Because if it is, we're going to have to close down the mine, and the monarch will not be happy.
Please share your insights with me. I'm rather curious to know what's happening myself. Maybe my group can help. We're all here after all.
Well, I know what they are for the most part. I'm just kind of worried if they have a sort of lead. And he kind of looks around again, clearly kind of not wanting the guards to hear. He kind of motions you over closer to a lava pool out there.
Okay.
Away from the guards. I'm sure in your many adventures you've at least heard of intellect devourers.
Are they aberrations or monstrosities?
They are aberrations, I believe.
I'm pretty sure those are aberrations, because I have monstrosities as a favored.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would have encountered any of those ones yet.
You would have. I would say roll me an intelligence, or
a unskilled or like
no, roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Well, I don't know shit.
No, you have not. Throughout your travels, you have not heard of intellect devourers per se, unless they are, which I believe they're.
No, yeah, they're
not monsters.
Yeah, they are aberrations, and so you have no idea what he's talking about. And he shrugs, and it's fine. They're fairly rare. Essentially, intellect devourers are tiny, walking brains.
I kind of just give him like a "you're fucking with me" look.
No, I am I'm very much not. Very, for their size, they are very dangerous creatures. Essentially, they can stun other creatures by draining their mind. Not only draining the mind, but replacing it. Taking control of whatever they do. Thankfully, we haven't found any people possessed or taken over.
I was about to say, are you sure some of the workers walking around right now are...
Oh, you know an intellect devourer when you see one. Besides, intellect devourers don't want to blend in. What I'm worried about is what usually controls intellect devourers. You see he's trembling a little. Illithid. He kind of looks you over. Do you know what an illithid is?
Yes.
No!
No, you don't.
Yes.
Well, usually, most illithids create intellect devourers from the brains of their victims to be gatherers of sorts. They bring back bodies and people for the mind flayers. We've seen a few of them wandering the mines in the deeper parts.
A few illithids?
A few intellect. We have yet to see an illithid. If we did see an illithid, no one would be in 30 feet of this mine. Good. What I'm worried about is that there's somewhere an illithid controlling these intellect devourers. They haven't made any sort of organized attempt. But there's something else down there as well.
Do you know what it is? Do you have any idea what it is? Do you have any piece that...
I have seen it, but I have never seen anything like it.
Can you describe it?
And he kind of wipes his brow a bit. He's still shaking, as you can see. He's very nervous and, he's clearly had a hard time and, stressed out from this. But to put it simply, it's evil, whatever it is. And as he says that, you hear a scream coming from the mines. As you look, you see, you both kind of turn, the guards turning as well.
You see my hand's going to go for my bow, and I turn towards the mine entrance.
Yep, you see that the Dragonborn that was currently kind of inspecting some rocks, digging a little, is currently dead.
Okay,
you see,
so is that right there?
You see, and what you see is something you've previously never seen and not believed in. You see brains with claws crawling out of the mines towards you.
Grossed out. Can I make an attack action, like a action?
Not quite yet, because you also hear.
Oh shit!
You also hear chains. A lot of chains rattling, shaking, and scraping along the floor as you see a large, imposing shadow come out of the mines as well.
Okay.
I need you to roll initiative.
Yay! I'm by myself, guys!
You're by yourself, but you're not alone.
Exactly. That should be a 19.
Right. You can edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Ulrich, you're lucky you're not here.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, intellect devours, psychic damage, they can ignore your... They can sense your resistance.
Yeah, that's another item I have to get. I might write that while I'm here.
Yeah, we need to get Rings of Mind shielding, guys. We need to get Rings of Mind shielding.
And intellect devours. Alright.
Okay, well, assuming that they go after me, at least 3 of them are going to die. Or maybe 4 of them, depending on how much HP they have. But definitely one of them.
I think these things are easy to kill.
Yeah.
Out of character, intellect devourers are stupid easy to kill.
Yeah, 12 AC with 21 HP. Oh boy. That one right there is dying, and these two right here, and at least one of them probably will follow it.
Let's get a 7. 13 and a 10.
Believe you me, I have macros for my new favorite spell.
All right, Ara, you are the first to go.
Yay! All
As
right,
you
well,
see the intellect devourers and creature start to come out of the mines.
okay. Well, I'm going to back up 2 spaces here. Are these 5-foot or 10-foot spaces?
5.
Okay, cool. Draw my bow. Touch. Muttering a few words in Elven. Touch an arrow with my and draw it.
Yep.
The tip sparking, and that's my bonus action. I just cast lightning arrow on it.
All right. So you pull back bits of electricity, blue electricity sparking from your arrow.
And I launch it at this intellect devourer.
All right. As you launch, Yep.
Okay.
As you launch the arrow, it bursts into electrical energy. So essentially, your arrow is gone now. As it hits you, well, it's still the attack goes. I'm not saying it failed or anything. I'm just saying the arrow is now used up because electric.
Actually, no. Specifically, the spell says that the ammunition returns to normal after the spell ends.
Very well. All right. So it just is coated in electricity.
It turns into a bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
But it's a transmutation spell.
All right. So
anyway,
make your attack.
Longbow. Oh my god. Okay.
As you loose the arrow, thinking, I got these. Oh wow, they're a lot smaller than what I thought they were. You hit the wall and
it's
unfortunately the electricity diffuses into the rock.
Well, I'm completely useless. Good to know.
You still have another attack. I believe.
I know. I still have extra attack, but well, actually no. Actually, on a miss, it does half damage, and so that's still 2d8, or
right,
that's still half of 26.
So
then that's right. I forgot about that. So then these two have to make a dexterity save of 14.
Unfortunately, since it was a crit failure,
it's part of the spell.
So it was a spell crit fail.
Well, no, that's just for the on hits. That's for the on hit for the first 46. The second 46 is a dex save of 10 feet around the target.
Which I'm gonna say they get advantage on since
That's
the
fair.
crit failed the bow.
That's fair.
So they get dexterity.
So yeah, it's a dexterity save of 14.
Right, because they get advantage on. So the first one fails. The second one passes.
Right, so the first one then just takes 8 damage. The second one takes 4, and then this one right here takes whatever half of
13.
13 damage.
There's unfortunately, there's a lot smaller diffusion of energy than what you hoped.
Hey, it's still something.
You weren't used to firing like electric arrows, so you kind of wavered a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And isn't it the concentration so you can just throw another one out?
No, it's not. It's concentration for a minute, but it's only
for the
on
1
ammunition.
If
it was flame arrow, if it was flame arrow, it'd be 12 pieces of ammunition for I think up to an hour.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so you get 1 more attack.
Yes, I'm attack the one I did the most damage to right there again. So another longbow attack first. Not the first time. So that's going to be a 1d8 plus Colossus Slayer. So another 14 damage. That probably kills it.
14.
27?
Kill it. Alright, as you loose the second arrow, it heading straight into the gray matter with this wet, squishy sound.
Ew.
As gray falls on its back, legs kind of curling up almost like a spider. That's it. Dead.
Wait.
Alright, that's your turn?
That is all I can do. Besides more movement.
And the dwarf's turn, he's like, bloody fucking things! He picks up his pickaxe and rushes. Like, I'm fucking tired of this!
I'm tired of this shit.
Yep. 17 definitely hits. As he deals 16 damage. As he just smacks the thing with his pick. He now gets a second attack.
Woo!
Better kill that thing in one hit.
2 hits.
Well, one turn, my bad.
Yeah.
Just hit.
Semantics.
Which, yeah, he just... Boom! He uses his foot to kind of push the thing off.
Literally, it is impossible for me to miss these things unless I roll a natural 1.
So
it is actually impossible for me to miss.
As he does that, he's like the large creature slowly shifts forward, and it lets out a string of words. I'm assuming you don't speak Abyssal.
I do not speak Abyssal. I speak Deep Speech.
Yeah. So as it
only I was there.
So as it says this, so you feel a ringing in the back of your mind.
In my mind.
All of you, but you don't know that. As you hear it, as you hear these words you've never heard before, they suddenly start to form words that you know. This creature essentially says, "Be gone from this place. Write what you have learned, or you will
How about you leave?
And that is its turn.
And then the little puppy things.
The 2 intellect devourers. Alright, intellect devourers, who they get 2 attacks. 20 plus. Only plus 4, funnily enough. Oh yeah, that one hits. That one misses. Slash roll 2d4 plus 2. As you see, they both start leaping up at the top guard, clawing and scraping at him. Then suddenly, they each let out a small burst of some sort of energy.
Which I don't think I'm in range for. I'm not.
It's not aimed at you. Pass and... Oh, he passes both times, thankfully enough. This was for the... You're currently not being attacked by the intellect devourers.
Sweet.
However, now your friend, the dwarf, is... Who gets hit? 2d4 plus 2. Taking 10 damage. Also... Failing the check. 2d10. 7 psychic damage. And oh, this is where it hits. 8. That's good. So he kind of takes a few hits and kind of stumbles a bit, but he regains his footing and is fine. Right, the guard's turn. Move forward. This one will step there. This one will step beside you. As you see, the guards both pull out whips, which you've seen before. As they go to strike the intellect devourers, they each make a quick whip motion, essentially cracking their whips. And as they do, they both burst, the whips both burst into flames. So, 20 plus 5. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that hits. 2d4.
He's there to eat some damage too, so.
That one's still alive. Ooh. That one's dead. And the bottom one is dead as well. As they start whipping fuck out of these intellect devourers, managing to take out both of them.
Jelly brains.
The 2 archers. Ooh. Shooting at the intellect devoured, missing, and missing. Good job. The prisoners, the slaves, hiding the
carpet. Back off. That's chaos.
essentially all start like fleeing. All right, Ara again.
All right. I'm gonna sack my movement to do some sort of skill check to identify the creature. What am I gonna make?
Roll me a.
If it's a monstrosity, I can use a.
Roll me a religion check.
Religion. Man, all the intelligence checks that I have nothing in.
You have no clue what this thing is. From best you can tell, it looks to be a sort of construct, almost like a golem.
Okay. Yeah, because it's covered in like chains.
Chains, yeah. You can see, a lot of the chains end off in like blades, maces, weapons, and whatnot.
Okay. But it's clearly metal.
Oh yeah, it is clearly made of a lot. You can see what look to be bits of some sort of organic matter, like underneath or inside the chain, though.
All right, lightning arrow.
On the chain monster.
Yes.
All right, roll for your attack.
I swear, if you 1v...
If I 1v1 the iron golem.
It's technically not an iron golem.
17 hits or misses.
17 misses.
All right, still half damage though.
So half of the half. Wait.
It has resistance or does it have weakness? Because it's like.
Does the arrow count as a magical weapon?
Yeah. Let me check. I believe it does. Because it's a magic attack coming out and it deals lightning damage. So
right. Well, would your weapon attack also count as magic?
It doesn't get any pluses, but the arrow technically becomes a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, so it gets just regular half of the damage. All right. We're bringing it down to 7. The arrow hits it and sort of bursts. You see the creature not even flinching.
Then, yeah, nothing else was within 10 feet, right? So
yeah. Is that your turn?
I can make a second attack on it.
Yep. On the chain monster or on the intellect devourer?
I just wanted to get the thing damaged for sure, so when I hit it next time I can...
Yeah. Alright, so pick your shot if you're trying to hit the chain monster.
So it's both third level spell slots, unfortunately, for the day. 24 hits or misses.
24 just hits.
Wow. Okay, this will be difficult.
This is a let's get out of here fight, I believe.
I'm just trying to see. So long Colossus Slayer.
Oh.
Yeah, Colossus Slayer I did read up and did ask around. It just adds to weapon type damage. So it's 7 piercing damage, non-magical.
Right, so that would be half.
Bow, and I don't have magic. Magic.
Yeah, we need some magic weapons.
So as you loose your arrows, you get between the chains and hit the matter, but the arrows just, as you can now see and the arrows just break or pop out, seemingly doing nothing.
Then I'll, as a free action, yell out, "Fall out, creature! Back to the depths from whence you came."
All right. That's your turn?
Yes.
All right. The dwarf. Kind of still like, fuck this shit. Yeah. Yes. I believe he did 2d6 before, yeah. Yes, he bashes the shit out of the intellect devourer, who is still barely up. The monster says something again in Abyssal, which you don't understand, but it does kind of tickle the back of your head again, just simply, "You have been warned." And it disappears back into the depth. Mind Flayer still attacking, though.
That's a very tidy mind flayer.
Very honorable player too.
+1. 2, no, terribly missing. The dwarf's like smacking him back.
Wee.
However, he passes. All right. The guard, essentially cornering this poor thing.
It's an intellect devour. It's not poor in any sense of the word.
Yeah, the thing's dead. The thing is utterly, nutterly dead.
Hey, one missed.
Yeah, as the guards just whip the things to death. That is...
It's so funny because it's literally impossible for 3 minutes with a creature with AC 12 or lower right now.
Except for
natural
Anyways,
ones.
as the guard kind of look around like, the fuck? The dwarf rubbing his forehead, turning to you. That is what was inside the mine.
Okay.
The guards move, essentially tossing the intellect of ours into the lava.
Nothing to see here.
Yep. A few of them like shouting at the Dragonborns to get back to work, which they do, but you do see they're very hesitant. You know, they're loading some things up. One of the guards taking the Dragonborn corpse, which you can see, essentially there's like a chunk missing out of his head. And he essentially just takes the Dragonborn and tosses him into the lava as well.
Unhappy.
Yeah.
With the unceremonious disposal.
The dwarf walks up to you. So, as you can see, we're in a bit of a bad spot here.
Yes. Clearly.
And he looks back at the mine. I don't know what you're thinking, though, but whatever that thing is, it's not controlling the mind flayers. It left, they stayed. So hopefully, it's just a weird fucking creature we've unearthed. Thank you for the help as well.
Of course, anytime. I will talk to the rest of my party and see if we can help you out.
Listen, I can't offer you any kind of reward. I don't make enough for that, but he reaches into his pocket and he hands you a small platinum card. Take that, and you'll be able to get an audience with the monarch.
Ah!
If you promise me you will help convince him to at least send more guards, and I will take care of whatever that thing is.
I look towards the pool of lava with kind of like a mournful look. It's like, if only I could have taken one of those corpses with me.
Trust me, he knows what's going on. He just refuses to do anything about it, because, as he will surely tell you, important people are not dying. And he turns to the lava and says a small prayer in Dwarven.
Everything is all right in Boston City.
Exactly. Anyways,
nothing wrong here. Move on.
Yep. So, what do you do now?
Well, I'm gonna take the platinum card, give him a quick bow, and head off. Since I already know what's killing them, because the idea was like to find a body and do like an investigation, medicine, nature, survival.
You now know, though. No need for any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you head back to town.
Yes.
All right. So, eventually, you all meet up back at the Adventurers Guild, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yep. Myra and Pyre, you get about 10 gold for the day.
And that's my painting check for the day.
You did very well. Doing good work on it.
Oh, so 10 gold apiece?
10 gold straight for the work.
5 apiece.
Alright. That's still something.
Gold is gold.
As Aru starts to head back and Lunar and everyone starts to head back, Uruk, you notice them all, and I'm assuming you come back down as well.
I kind of go inside.
And you all meet, still as busy as normal. Dwarves drinking, having a great old time.
On the way back, I say to Pyre, I mean, why do we always have to do the hard work? Those other guys have it so easy, relaxing.
I know. I think it's just because they have all those muscles.
Maybe.
They have all the muscles.
Hard work, you say?
All the hard work.
Hard work, you say?
Syra gets back.
Yep, as I just jingle the fire giant teeth.
Hey, I stopped it from hitting you twice.
I would have been fine.
You say that
More
now.
or less. Anyways.
All right. When we get back together, I'm going to tell them about the little encounter at the mines and that there's intellect devourers
And a creepy chain thing.
Creepy chain monster.
Could we do religions check?
Oh yes, all of you do a quick religion check.
Very, very
as,
well.
As she describes you what that chain thing was.
7.
Myra, counting on you. Counting on you, baby.
17.
Yay!
I'll buy it 20.
Both of you.
Just a rocket. So, as she
Heavy lifting, telling you guys.
as she describes to you roughly what she saw, you all kind of understand what intellect devourers are.
Out of character, I thought it was a chain devil, but it's not.
Well, funnily enough, the way you describe it, the rest of you do kind of assume what she's talking about. You've read up on this, Myra, you especially being a holy person, you've read up on it. Pyre, you've just happened to read up on chain things. Titans, KYTO, and not the other things you found, something completely. Essentially, they are demons, devils, wrapped in chains, and that they use the chains to attack and kill people. However, the way she describes it seems a bit off, as chain devils usually do not issue warnings and usually do not just leave. Devils, they're dicks.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And it seems just a bit strange how it acted. And, as she describes to you, as you're asking her questions about what does it look like, and she tells you essentially like a pile of chains that came to life.
Yeah.
You do not quite know what exactly it is.
Do I know whether or not chain devils could possess another being?
They cannot. You do know that they can animate chains, but not to that extent. And you also know that devils do not speak abyssal. They speak infernal.
Yeah. But we wouldn't been able to
be told
that because it was a language she wouldn't know.
She has heard the language, she just hasn't been able to understand it. So I'm assuming she can tell you he's evil. No.
Wait. Is it a similar language to what that creature from the sewers was speaking?
Yes, I believe.
I speak Abyssal, so I know what kind of creatures speak Abyssal.
You have heard Abyssal in the past. You've seen Abyssal written and you've heard it spoken. So I'm assuming you would tell them it was Abyssal.
Yeah.
I guess I could say that. I mean, if you'll.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming you would know.
So this is a demon and not a devil that we're doing.
You don't quite know because there's nothing that really matches that.
It could be really any aberration or monstrosity.
Well, it's the language split.
It is, but
them.
But demons,
there's no demon that looks like what she described, or even acts like what she described as well.
It could be a really well disguised Baylor for all we know.
Is the distinction between infernal that infernal's more like demons and abyssal's more like other planes and like
abyssals are devil. Abyssal is for demons. Infernal is devils. Yeah, there is actually major distinction between devils and demons.
There is.
And the two of them don't like each other.
Oh, they absolutely hate each other. Devils are more lawful evil, more orderly evil, whereas demons are more just chaotic death and destruction wherever they go.
Some creatures just want to watch the world burn.
Essentially, yes.
But you know what? I want to find. I want to get a Solar's slaying longbow. That's what I want.
Guess what? You saw one.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you flashed them the platinum card you now possess.
Well, if we're gonna fight this, we're gonna need better equipment. Something tells me that we're gonna need magical weapons to deal any damage to this creature if we even do try to fight it.
Isn't Doran ready with your one weapon?
No, Doran went off somewhere in the Dwarven land, so he might be here somewhere. All I got is Clay and Bowie.
Clay like 3.0, whatever it was.
So what is your guys' plan? Because you now have a platinum card as well.
Yes, I also tell him about that, and that we can go now get a audience with the Monarch.
Well, the best thing to do
without getting fucked up.
Go to him, see if we can convince him.
I'm sorry, can we refer to this Monarch as someone else? Because I keep getting the Adventure Bros guy in my head.
Well, you currently do not know his name. The best way to know his name would be to go and talk to him.
Yep, let's go talk to him.
Alright, so you head out. You really can't tell what time it is as it is underground. But you do head towards the Charcoal Palace. As you get there, there are two guards, very heavy armor, full helmets as well. They stop you. No one is allowed inside the Charcoal Palace without a pass.
I flashed the platinum pass.
One of them takes it, looks it over, looks to the other guard, looks back to you. He puts the platinum card in a small pouch. Alright, follow me. Don't cause any trouble. And he heads into the palace, the large obsidian gates opening. As he leads you through the palace, you do see several dwarves, mostly guards, and you see quite a few dragonborns working as usual. From what you can tell, just able to see them, they're treated a lot worse than any others.
This really just makes me more mad.
As you are taken through the castle, you are eventually taken to a set of very beautifully crafted oak doors. The guard tells you to take a seat, and he opens one of the doors. As he does, it is a very lovely, fancy, very well decorated sitting room. Assuming you all just take a seat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I perch on the back of one of the seats.
All right.
I sit in the one that he's perching on.
Yeah.
Just to look even more.
I actually will remain standing.
Leader will remain standing.
All right. A few moments later, the door opens. There are two guards. All right, the Monarch will see you now. Follow us, and they start to head off. After a few more minutes of walking, you come to a large set of stone doors inlaid with gold, platinum, silver, a lot of fancy shit. The guards open the door. The guards open the door to not a throne, not what you would normally consider, a royal whatever. It is open to from best you can tell, like a business, meeting room or something along those lines. There is a large, beautifully crafted desk across from it, you see a dwarf. Very normal-looking-ish dwarf. With armor, cloak on. As you enter, he is currently shouting at a dragonborn, which he quickly sends out as you enter. He looks you all over, kind of cracks his knuckles a bit. And what do you want?
And as a gesture of respect, even though I don't really like the guy already, I'm going to bow and address him. How do I address him today? Because
you've only heard him addressed to as matriarch.
A matriarch or
Monarch.
Someone call him matriarch.
With a matriarch.
I don't know. I always get this too confused.
Gender.
Is like
Monarch.
Is he
Monarch.
a male dwarf that identifies as a female dwarf and the leader?
No, he's matriarch. Sorry, I monarch. God damn it! I always get the. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got it. It's like, hold on, you're flipping the script here. Of the dwarves. I am Arya Nakir, and I come to you today to offer my assistance.
Our services.
Oh, really? And what makes you think I want the assistance of an overgrown chicken, 2 knife ears, and a few humans?
You seem to have some problems with your mine, specifically the platinum mine.
Yeah, you call those trouble. Nothing of importance has been lost. We need the platinum, and we will get the platinum.
Strained smile is queued up. Yes, but would it not be easier if your workers stopped dying?
Listen, the moment I lose anything of importance from the mine, I will deal with it.
Yes, but you are losing
Or
time
you
money
could,
on the mine with all your workers dying.
Oh, please.
or you
I
could
am not
deal with it
losing
now and not lose anything of importance.
Unless they come barging into the city, I won't lose anything of importance.
Well, then clearly you don't know what is actually down there.
And it's nothing I cannot handle. Trust me.
Lunar, we
Even-
have passed for at least a week.
Even
Surely we could get those renewed and stay for a while, and if this trouble does persist and this guy finally decides to change his mind, he will be able to put up a formal notice in the Adventures Guild, of which we will gladly take at this time. Now, however, it seems like his mind is definitely set, and there will be no changing it.
I just look at him. Even if a greater demon of some kind has specifically warned me, and I'm assuming there's the guards in the area as well, that's...
Don't give me that nonsense of demons. Please.
She covered in chains, and it spoke telepathically in a language they don't understand.
Yeah, I've heard that before from the slaves. Do you think I trust them any more than I do you?
Would you trust one of your own men?
None of them have come to me of these mythical talks of demons. And you see he thinks for a moment. Although, I do have a bit of trouble brewing. And it's trouble I, unfortunately, cannot deal with as easily. You, on the other hand, might. Now, and he takes a seat. As I'm sure you're well aware, we have plenty of workers in this town. Not all of them have the mind or the will to work, but we make them. Recently, they've been getting the idea that they don't want to work. And they've been having a few gatherings. For the most part, I've been able to dismiss them as properly as I can, but most of the other castes are calling foul, saying it's inhumane. So,
I've seen already.
So,
Oh god, Lunar's mind is ticking at the moment.
and maybe help me with a bigger problem on my hands. And if you do a good enough job, get paid. I want you to end the current riot in the slave quarters by any means necessary.
GM, did I see anything akin to a riot?
While you were there, you currently did not, but you did feel just this tension in the air. You didn't see most of the slave quarters, you just saw sort of the major, like, warehouse.
Okay.
Quick. Do the elves really believe in slavery, or are they more like do as you want?
They're more do as you want, depending on which elves you talk to.
Well, like the wood elves and high elves specifically.
Wood elves are mainly live and let live, one with nature and all that. The high elves are more
dependent on the house.
Yeah. The high elves, for the most part, don't really care about most other races. They're indifferent. They don't like slavers, but they don't necessarily purposely go out and hunt them. The drow, they don't give a shit mostly. If you ask them, they'll mostly say, "And we just don't take prisoners."
Really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Drows
drows are fun. Drows are interesting employment.
Wood elves and high elves just they're buddy, but with the drow, it's kind of like,
oh yeah,
we're not related. We don't know them. We don't know
Anyways,
them.
It's kind of like dwarves and Durgars.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
Because wasn't the Durgars slaves to the drow?
They were slaves to Illithids, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, if you do this task for me, I have a much bigger job, and it will pay. If you do a good enough job.
Okay, I think I can arrange something that suits both sides.
It's not the thing that you'd want.
I'm asking you.
I have ideas.
I'm asking you to end them in any way possible. Make an example if you have to.
Moment pause while I'm kind of not really glaring at him, but giving him a hard look.
Lunar has probably the weirdest smile you've ever seen. His hair kind of covering his eyes at the moment.
We can't take this, because even if we do take it and go against it, it's completely cuts us off from the other one.
I have ideas.
I just want to walk away from this.
Now,
calm down. I have ideas.
I can see you're a bit hesitant for mercenaries. I'm assuming you take blood.
We're not mercenaries.
As you said, as you're in the middle of saying that, he takes out a chest and boom, puts it on the table, spins it around, and opens it up. I can offer you, for my next job, if you do well, 100 platinum per person.
You are a fucking idiot.
Please tell me you didn't say that out loud.
I did say that out loud.
God damn it.
He kind of glares at you, Myra, closes the chest. Or, I could peg you all now as slavers, sympathizers, and have you all executed. He puts the chest away. It's really your choice.
I'm not necessarily one for killing needlessly. I will try to find a peaceful solution.
We are part of the Adventurers Guild, and if you could put in a formal request there, I'm sure someone will pick it up. But we are not mercenaries.
No. For the peace of the realm, I will try to find a peaceful solution for you.
Good luck. They're savages, all of them.
I think you'd be surprised. And then with that, I will turn around.
I await your
Lunar
corpse's return.
Lunar would already be starting to walk out.
Yeah, and as you do, there are guards waiting for you.
Lunar didn't care what he was going to say. He's already given him enough information.
Yep. As we leave the palace area, I'm going to pull out a note and write on it, and then wrap it around the scrying stone. The note is saying to meet me on the outskirts of the, or like asking to for a meeting area somewhere. Probably have to be outside Dwarven territory though.
All right. So, as you all are ushered out of the palace, back onto sort of the main thoroughfare,